Humanity has deluded itself into anxiety, depression, sickness, dis-ease. Breaking out of these delusions is like breaking out of the matrix, waking up to our true nature and living as fully actualized and fully embodied beings. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. On this channel we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, aliens, and so much more. First of all, it has come to my attention that me telling you guys not to subscribe has been very effective. So I'm going to flip the switch now and ask you to actually subscribe because it's a party over here and you are so welcomed. So I'm sure you've been watching a couple videos now and you've just forgotten. So come join the family. Subscribe to the Baby Elephant community by clicking that button below and turn your notification bell on thing. Today I want to talk about 4 self-imposed delusions that we have all been victim to at one point or another and that many are still confined by today. The great thing about having these delusions though, and other delusions that humanity is always entertaining, is that once our attention is drawn to them, once we see our blind spots, we can actually overcome them, transcend, and live the way that we're meant to, that we were always supposed to. So once we get this information, we start to unravel and undo the delusion that we've lived in our entire lives. We start to heal ourselves from it. Remember that this is a mass delusion and it happens through programming, indoctrination, socialization. We're made to forget our true nature. Magic is taken away from us. The truth is concealed. We become sheep following the herd, asking no questions, living day in and day out with a blindfold on. But little by little, we can unravel this delusion and wake up to our truth. Before we get into today's video, I want to give this video's sponsor a big shout out, Blinkist. If you follow me here and on all my social media accounts, you know that I read a lot and I use Blinkist a lot. It's been indispensable for my personal development journey because it allows me to gain insights from thousands of self-development books by condensing each book into just 15 minutes that you can read or listen to podcast style. So it takes me 15 minutes to do dishes and clean up my kitchen. And in that time, I've already listened to Wabi Sabi by Beth Kempton, which is Japanese wisdom for a perfectly imperfect life. Blinkist helps me personally because I read so much. I can return to books that I've already read, and I read the key points on Blinkist, and I can improve my life and my content with that information by remembering it. My favorite thing about Blinkist is that it's cut down my scrolling on social media time way down. Whenever I find myself in an Instagram rabbit hole, it's more often than not really depressing, especially in today's climate. And I'd rather be expanding my consciousness by learning something new on Blinkist. Because Blinkist is sponsoring this video, the first 100 people to go to Blinkist.com/LeeorAlexandra are going to get a free week of unlimited access to try out Blinkist. And you can also get 25% off the membership if you decide to stick with it at the end of your trial. So you can start reading Think and Grow Rich or the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success today for absolutely free. And you can cancel your trial at any time during that period. Thank you, Blinkist, and now let's get into the video. I want to begin to unravel the delusion. So please don't take any of these things on this list as an attack because you're not alone in this. I'm in this process along with you. The way that these delusions show up in our lives is going to be unique to each individual, but the major themes are super consistent and the end result is always the same. It's so much stress, so much anxiety, sickness, disease, depression, an overall lack of joy and peace and calm and an ability to just live in our center. But undoing these 4 delusions will get you that much closer to your true nature and will make life that much more enjoyable. I've seen this happen in my own life. So the number 1 delusion that we're stuck in is that we're too stuck in our own identity, and we express this often through our likes and our dislikes. So our likes and our dislikes drive our actions in the way that we interact with other people, with ourselves, and with the world. So for example, you don't like it when it rains out, and so it becomes a part of your identity and you'll never dance in the rain. Or a person doesn't like bugs, okay, so like me. So they'll never go anywhere where there's bugs. This used to be me. I wouldn't even sit on grass because I was so afraid of creepy crawlies. Only when I became more attuned to my true nature and to nature in general, and I started practicing walking on grass barefoot, did I realize that I had missed out on amazing experiences because I had this identity, this stagnant definition of who I am, that I was afraid that I didn't like bugs. So now that I've overcome that, I was able to spend a week in Guatemala, one of the best weeks of my life, in this little hut next to Lake Atitlan, I think it's called. And I had spiders there, all like right next to my bed, on the walls, and all on the ceiling, the size of my face, no joke. Scorpions the size of my face. And of course, that first day when I got there, I was like, what am I doing here? I want to go home. But by the end of that week, I came to realize, first of all, that the spider spirit is super nurturing. It's kind of very, like, it's a protector, a guardian spirit. And I was able to sleep with no problems with these scorpions and spiders all around me, and I'm all by myself. So that is something that I never would have been able to do if I didn't break down that aspect of my identity. And if I continue to live my lives through, oh, well, I like to do this, so I'll keep doing this, or I don't like to do this, so I'll keep doing that. So consider in what ways your likes and dislikes are keeping your identity so rigid that you aren't able to experience that mystery and that adventure, or even just peace and calm, right? Maybe you're set on the fact that you don't like to work out, so you don't work out, or you don't like to meditate. Can you be more fluid with your likes and dislikes? Ultimately, we have to understand that everything in the human experience is constantly changing. If we are rigid in our identity, we're not allowing ourselves to flow and to let go and to just enjoy. The second delusion that we are stuck in is that we live in the past or we live in the future. So we talk about this a lot on this channel. Presence is where our point of attraction exists. This is where joy exists. There is nothing other than the present moment. Then right now, take a moment to feel the present moment. Feel your body wherever it is, if you're sitting down or standing. Take a deep breath. Just feel yourself existing here. What can you hear? What can you smell? What can you sense? The reason why human beings have anxiety is because of our ability to mentally imprison ourselves in the past and to live in fear of the future. So constantly thinking about the future, constantly planning for the future, and just our mind is always in the next moment rather than in the present one. So while visualization for manifestation is so powerful, there's no more important space for manifesting than the present moment. Right here and right now is our point of attraction. And right here and right now is the only thing that actually exists. Thinking about the past is thinking about a fairy tale, a distant story, and a memory that we can't access again. Time isn't linear in general, and you can, in meditation, go backwards in time. But the way that our thinking mechanisms, our filtering mechanisms work, is it makes us experience everything moment by moment. And humans, unlike other animals, are the only ones that experience anxiety and depression because we do have this capability of using our mind to go back in time and to go forward in the future, and this just creates fear. And when we worry about the future, life flies by and we continue to worry about the next moment and the next one rather than experiencing the one that we are in. And we find ourselves 10 years down the line and we're like, where did the last 10 years of my life go? So you have to find ways to keep yourself present. Focus on your senses. Look into people's eyes. Taste the food that you're eating. Feel your body as it exists in space, and don't distract yourself. We're constantly distracting ourselves from feeling the present moment. This is the ego structure mechanism. We get so lost in our own thoughts. We want to exit the realm of chaotic rambling and enter the world of living mindfully. The third delusion is that we are constantly wanting more and constantly wanting new things. So we've been programmed, socialized, indoctrinated to constantly desire more and constantly want the new best thing. That's why we keep upgrading our phones and our technology, our electronics, our wardrobes. It's why we make all this money just to spend it on fast fashion that doesn't last, that we have to continuously buy new things. It's not natural to you because it's actually your mind, your ego, that is insatiable. Your heart and your soul, who you truly are, doesn't need anything outside of yourself in order to feel satisfied and to feel good. This is the ego that's constantly desiring things. Because the ego wants to constantly identify itself through materiality. It thinks that if it has more material objects, or if it has more things that it wants, if it covets more and aspires to more, hustle culture, getting more, it can become more material and therefore not perish through enlightenment. But the more that we desire, the more we put ourselves through mental anguish. When will I have this thing that I want so badly? When will this thing come into manifestation? And once I have it, then what's next? We become like these wild beasts stuffing ourselves at a feast, only thinking about what next we can consume. The answer to this is simple. It's just to stop. Stop adding more and more things to your cart, to the things that you need, to your lists. You don't need more goals. Having big goals and big dreams in your life is amazing. But if you're constantly creating them just to make the ego have something to aspire to, then that's not the point of manifestation that you want to come from. You want to come from a place that's already satisfied, that's satiated. And through your spiritual journey, you will find yourself wanting less and less, especially material things. Decide that you are in control of your consumption. No ad, no marketing, nothing outside of yourself is going to tell you what you need and what you need to get, what you need to have. And a very good thing to do when considering your need for conception is to analyze where these desires are coming from. Often you'll find that they're not even your own. When I searched hard within myself years ago, I found that I didn't actually have any desire for a private jet or designer handbags, 10 cars, a mansion, whatever. I've been programmed to believe that that's what I need in order to be happy. And that's not the case, because guess what? The people who do have those things will tell you, and they do tell you. You can search these videos up on YouTube. All these celebrities, all these multimillionaires and even billionaires will tell you that money doesn't cause happiness. They get there and then they just want more and more and more. Their ego is constantly looking for more things to fill themselves up with. Satisfaction never actually comes from attaining anything. It only comes from inner peace, from quieting and soothing the ego with love and support. It's really nice to have goals and to have desires, but we have to ensure that our present moment happiness does not depend on future achievements. Let yourself be happy with what you already have. The paradox is, in the state of having, of focusing on what you already have, more always comes. And as more comes, you're still not identifying yourself by what you receive. The last delusion that I want to talk about today is attachment to things and to people. When we are attached to things and people, we believe that they should be ours and ours alone. What people don't seem to understand is that attachment and possession are two sides of the same coin. These are viruses that infect the relationship, or the relationship between you and this thing that you have, that you feel like you've attained. When someone believes, even subconsciously, that they possess another person, then that relationship gets sick. Think about how a relationship starts out. Before there is that aspect of attachment and possession, usually that doesn't happen until, you kind of like define and label the relationship. There's almost this freedom and this joy that comes with that feeling of being possessed by somebody and possessing somebody else. Because once you are attached to this person, it means all these other things, all these things that we've been taught it means by society, right? Like, this person can't do this and can't do that, and I can't do this and I can't do that. And that's the virus of possession. That's where the problems start. Attachment pollutes love. And this happens with the things that we own too. We become attached to our homes, our cars, our clothes, our jewelry, and we infect them with this possession sickness. And worse, we identify ourselves through these things. We become so deluded and truly believe that our personality and our worthiness is validated by these things that we have, these material objects or these relationships that we have. So there are ways to release this attachment, but the most important step is to consider whether your intentions with these things or with these people is pure. If there's any selfishness, then the possession infection will begin. Love things and love people the way that they are, and recognize that things and people come and go from our lives. Even when we marry someone and we're with them forever, at one point we have to let them go because our physical bodies leave, right? And our souls go somewhere else. So we are never going to have something forever and ever and ever. Everything changes. That's the human condition. Everything changes. And we have to shift our perspective on those changes from fearing them into loving them and appreciating them and seeing that they're just a part of life. So practice enjoying everything for what it is and for the time that it lasts, and say goodbye to things graciously. There are indigenous cultures that I've read that do these giveaway ceremonies. And this is kind of a way to become initiated into manhood or womanhood. And what they do is they have all these different rituals like fasting or dancing for days on end, or doing temescals where you go into the sweat lodges, right? So they have all these different rituals. And then at the end of these rituals, what they do is they give away all their prized possessions. They give away everything that they've become identified with, everything that they've become attached to, and everything that has deluded them into thinking that they are this person, this identity. They give it all away, all their favorite things. And then they end up receiving things from their community, right? They won't have clothes anymore. They don't have anything anymore. So they receive new things, old things from family members and friends in their community. So this is a good practice in seeing that everything comes and everything goes. We receive and we let go. And the more graciously we do this, the better. That's it for today. Those are the 4 delusions that we must transcend in order to become our happiest, best, most centered and balanced selves, and kind of exit the matrix, really wake up to our true nature. If you like these, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below which one really spoke to you. If you have a delusion that you've been noticing in humanity, like, oh my God, humanity has amnesia and is deluded by this one thing, leave it down in the comments below. I want to talk about it. I want to find out what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Blinkist for sponsoring this video. Again, if you want to try a week free of Blinkist, go to blinkist.com/Leeor Alexandra. It really helps the channel out. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I love you. And until next time, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. Bye.